He never thought a single yes would cost him this much. When Ethan got the wedding invitation from his younger brother, he didn't hesitate. Of course he'd be there. It was family. His kid brother getting married at a lakeside resort in Colorado. 5 days of celebration, laughter, photos, speeches, memories. The kind of thing their parents would talk about for the rest of their lives. He imagined it already. His mom crying during the vows, his dad trying to hold it together, his brother grinning like an idiot. It was going to be perfect. Except his wife couldn't go. Maya worked at a regional bank in Denver. Nothing glamorous, but steady. The kind of job that ran on numbers, policies, and red tape. And November was audit month. No time off, no exceptions. 95% of viewers aren't subscribed. Subscribing is free, takes seconds, and makes a real impact. Click subscribe and be part of the growth. Please turn on the bell for more updates. She told him gently, like she'd practiced it. There's just no way I can get leave right now. I'm sorry. He said it was fine, that he understood. But that night, while they ate takeout in silence, he caught her staring at her phone, eyes somewhere far away. He tried to sound casual. You sure you're okay with me going? She nodded, almost too quickly. It's your brother's wedding, Ethan. You can't skip that. Her tone was soft, but her expression was unreadable. For 2 days, he went back and forth. Stay home and miss the wedding? Or go and risk her feeling left out? Every option felt wrong. On the third morning, he texted his brother, I'll be there. Maya didn't argue. She just said, That's good, and went back to checking emails. He bought her favorite chocolate before leaving, hoping the small gesture would say what he couldn't. She smiled politely and placed the box on the counter, unopened. The drive took 8 hours. The farther he got from home, the more the road stretched like a quiet warning. But the scenery was stunning. The mountains, the pines, the crisp air. By the time he reached the resort, his chest felt lighter. His brother Ryan greeted him in the parking lot with that same grin he'd worn since childhood. The family was all there, buzzing with excitement. Everyone hugged him, asked about Maya, said how much they wished she'd come. He gave the same rehearsed answer. Couldn't get time off. You know how her job is. He smiled each time, but inside it stung a little more. That night after dinner, fireworks lit up the lake. Ryan and his fiancée danced under string lights while the family cheered. Ethan stood off to the side, hands in his pockets, watching the reflection of the lights on the water. He thought about calling Maya. He even pulled his phone out. But it was late. He put it back in his pocket. By the second day, everyone had settled into the rhythm of celebration. Breakfasts, decorations, rehearsals, photos. Ethan went along with it, smiling when cameras turned his way, laughing at jokes that barely landed. Every once in a while, someone asked, You must miss Maya, huh? He'd laugh and nod. Yeah, a lot. But when he got back to his room at night, the silence hit him. No calls, no texts, not even a good night. On the third night, he finally typed, Everything's going great, I miss you. Then he deleted it. It sounded like he was fishing for reassurance. He tried again. You'd have loved it here. Deleted that too. He ended up sending a heart emoji. She didn't reply. The wedding day came. Big smiles, perfect weather, everything according to plan. Ryan looked nervous and happy all at once. Ethan helped him straighten his tie, cracked a joke about not running away, and for a brief second, forgot everything else. Then the ceremony started. When the music swelled and everyone turned to see the bride walk down the aisle, Ethan looked at his parents, his brother, the guests, and for no reason he could explain, he thought of Maya sitting at her desk, eyes fixed on a computer screen, another quiet workday. He wanted to share this moment with her, the laughter, the emotion, the way everyone teared up during the vows. But when he pulled out his phone to take a photo, the thought of sending it to her felt hollow. That night, the celebration roared on, dancing, drinking, laughter echoing down the hallways. Ethan slipped out early and sat alone on the balcony of his room, phone in hand, screen blank. Still nothing from her. 2 days later, he drove back home. The house was spotless, lights dimmed, soft jazz playing from the speaker. Maya opened the door, smiled faintly, and said, "Hey." It wasn't cold. It wasn't warm either. He set his bag down. "Hey, you okay?" "Yeah," she said. "How was it?" "Good. Really good. You were missed." She nodded and went back to the kitchen. He waited for her to ask about the wedding. Who was there? How it looked? What the place was like? She didn't. Over dinner, she talked about work, a client issue, some new manager. When he brought up the wedding photos, she just said, "That's nice," and changed the subject. It was like the wedding had happened on another planet. Days passed. The silence didn't break. It just settled deeper. She stopped replying in the family group chat when someone sent pictures. She skipped his mother's calls. When he finally asked, "Are you mad at me?" she said, "Why would I be?" He pressed, "Because I went." She turned off the lamp beside the bed. "You did what you thought was right." That sentence stuck in his head like a splinter. The next morning, she left early for work. He sat at the table with his coffee, scrolling through the wedding pictures again. There was one shot, him and Ryan laughing with their arms around each other. Everyone looked happy. He zoomed in on his own face and saw it. The smile didn't reach his eyes. Later that afternoon, he sent her that photo. This one turned out nice. Hours later, her reply came, "Yeah, looks like you had fun." That night, he realized something had shifted. Not broken exactly, just slipped out of place. A week passed. The wedding buzz faded for everyone else, but not for him. At home, every small thing felt slightly off. The tone of her voice, the pauses, the quiet. When his parents visited, his mom asked, "Everything okay between you two?" He smiled. "Yeah, just tired." But when they left, the smile disappeared. He tried. He really did. He made dinner, brought flowers, talked about taking a short trip. She smiled, said thanks, and went back to her emails. It wasn't anger. It was indifference. On her birthday, he planned everything. Candles, her favorite food, a quiet dinner. She came home late, thanked him, sat down, and ate in silence. Halfway through, he asked, "Do you regret that I went?" She looked up for the first time that night. "No, you had to go. It was your brother's wedding." He nodded. Relief flickered for a second, until she added softly, "I just didn't think it would feel like losing something." He froze. "Losing what?" She looked down at her plate. "Don't worry about it." After that, even silence started to feel crowded. A few nights later, he came home early and found her on a video call, laughing with someone from work. He hadn't heard her laugh like that in weeks. It hit him. Not jealousy, just realization. The sound of her voice reminded him of what was gone. Later that night, he lay awake beside her. She fell asleep easily. He didn't. He reached for his phone, scrolled through old photos. College trips, their first apartment, their wedding. Every image felt like a different version of them. The next morning, over breakfast, he finally said, "We can't keep pretending everything's fine." She didn't look up. "I'm not pretending." "Then tell me what's wrong." She set her coffee down, quiet for a moment. Then, "It's not about the wedding, Ethan. It's about how easy it was for you to go. How quickly you accepted I wouldn't be there." He stared at her. What was I supposed to do? Stay home and disappoint everyone? "I don't know," she said. "Maybe just care enough to question it." The words hung in the air, heavy and real. That evening, he sat alone on the couch, phone glowing in his hand. He opened the wedding video. Laughter, clinking glasses, the same smiles that now looked distant. He watched his brother's happiness, then paused on his own face. He looked elsewhere. Days turned into weeks. The silence became normal. Then one night, while washing dishes, Maya said casually, "My boss approved a week off next month." He smiled. "That's great. Maybe we can... I'm going to visit my parents." The rest of the sentence died in his throat. "Yeah, sure, that's good." When she left, the house felt even quieter. She called after a few days, short check-ins, nothing personal. He could hear the calm in her voice, a different kind of peace. When she came back a week later, the first thing she said was, "I think we need a break." He didn't argue, he just nodded. Later, when she was asleep, he scrolled through his gallery again. He found a short clip from the wedding, Ryan laughing, his parents clapping, music in the background. Then he saw himself in the frame, smiling, yes, but not really there. He saved the video to a new folder and renamed it Before. Now, months later, he still talks to his family, still goes to work, still laughs when he has to. But every time someone mentions weddings, vacations, or family events, he just nods politely. Because he knows that some moments don't end when the event is over. Sometimes they just echo, in the spaces where someone should have been, in the silence that follows, in the realization that love can fade quietly, not with fights or betrayal, but with one decision that felt right at the time. And every time he thinks about that week in Colorado, the noise, the joy, the lake lights, he remembers how beautiful it all looked, and how empty it felt without her. Thanks for watching Story Frame. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more updates. See you in the next video.